You're not lazy, you just think you are, and that belief is destroying your ability to function. Because what you call laziness is actually your brain protecting itself from a threat you can't see. And until you understand what's really happening inside your mind, you'll keep blaming yourself for something that isn't your fault. Here's what's actually going on. Your brain runs on energy, just like your body needs fuel to move. Your mind needs mental resources to think, decide, and act. And every single choice you make during the day drains that energy. What to wear, what to eat, which task to start, which message to answer first. Your brain is making hundreds of tiny decisions before you even notice, and each one costs you. This is called decision fatigue, and it's invisible. You don't feel it building. You just wake up one day and realize you can't start anything. You stare at your screen. You know what you need to do, but your body won't move, and you think, I must be lazy, but you're not. You're mentally overloaded, and your brain has hit its limit. Now here's where most people get stuck. They try to push harder. They tell themselves to be more disciplined, to stop procrastinating, to just do it. But that doesn't work because discipline isn't the problem. Your problem is that your brain is already running on empty. And asking it to do more is like asking a phone on 1% battery to run every app at once. It just shuts down. And this is why you feel paralyzed, not because you're weak, but because your mind is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's protecting you. When your mental energy is low, your brain switches into survival mode. It stops caring about your goals. It stops caring about productivity. It only cares about conserving energy, so it makes everything feel harder than it actually is. Pause, let that sink in. The reason you can't start is because your brain is trying to save you, not punish you. And once you understand that, everything changes. Because now you stop fighting yourself, and you start working with your mind instead of against it. So what does this actually mean for you? It means the fix isn't more motivation, it's less mental load. You need to stop draining your brain before the day even starts. And the way you do that is by removing decisions, not tasks, decisions. Because decisions are what drain you, not the work itself. Here's how this works in real life. Let's say you want to work out in the morning. Most people fail because they wake up and immediately start deciding, should I work out now or later? What exercises should I do? Where are my gym clothes? Which playlist should I use? 5 decisions before you even move, and your brain says, too much effort, let's skip it. But if you remove those decisions the night before, everything changes. You lay out your clothes, you choose your workout, you set your playlist. Now when you wake up, there's nothing to decide. You just move, and your brain doesn't resist. Because there's no mental cost. This is called decision stacking. And it's how high performers stay consistent without burning out. Now let me show you something most people never hear. There's a second layer to this. It's not just about external decisions, it's about internal ones too. Every time you judge yourself, that's a decision. Every time you wonder if you're good enough, that's a decision. Every time you compare yourself to someone else, that's a decision. And those drain you faster than anything else. This is called cognitive load. And it's the hidden killer of mental energy. You think you're just overthinking, but what you're actually doing is running hundreds of internal calculations that lead nowhere. Should I post this? Will people judge me? Am I doing this right? Is this even worth it? And your brain treats every single one of those questions like a real problem that needs solving. So it burns energy trying to answer them, even though most of them don't have answers. Here's the fix. You need to close open loops. An open loop is any unfinished thought or decision your brain is still holding onto. And the more loops you leave open, the heavier your mind feels. So start closing them. Make a list of everything you've been thinking about but haven't decided on yet. Then decide. Not perfectly, just decide, because a bad decision uses less energy than no decision at all. And this is where it gets interesting. Once you start closing loops and removing decisions, something shifts. You don't just get more done, you feel lighter. Like your brain has space again, and that feeling is what people mistake for motivation. But it's not motivation, it's clarity. And clarity is what actually makes you move. Now let's talk about identity. Because this isn't just about productivity, it's about how you see yourself right now. You probably think of yourself as someone who struggles to start things, someone who procrastinates, someone who's lazy, but that's not true. You're someone whose brain is protecting them from overload. And once you stop judging yourself for that, you stop wasting energy on shame, and you start using it to build instead. Here's the truth most people avoid. You don't need to be more disciplined. You need to be more strategic. Discipline is what you use when your system is broken. Strategy is what prevents the system from breaking in the first place. And the strategy is simple. Reduce decisions, close loops, protect your mental energy like it's the most valuable resource you have, because it is. Right now, you're probably thinking, okay, but how do I actually do this every day? Simple. Start with one decision, just one. Pick the thing you waste the most mental energy on every morning and remove it. Automate it. Pre-decide it. Do it the night before, and watch how much easier everything else becomes. Because once you stop leaking energy on small things, you have more left for the things that actually matter. And here's what happens next. You stop feeling like you're fighting yourself. You stop wondering why everyone else seems to have it together. You realize they don't. They just learned how to manage their mental load. And now you're learning it too, not because you're broken, but because no one ever taught you how your brain actually works. So here's where we are. You came here thinking you were lazy. Now you know you're not. You're mentally overloaded. And the fix isn't motivation, it's design. Design your day so your brain doesn't have to work so hard just to get started. And once you do that, everything you've been avoiding becomes possible again. This is how you take back control, not by forcing yourself to push harder, but by learning how to stop draining yourself in the first place. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You'll start noticing every decision that's costing you energy, every loop that's still open, every judgment that's slowing you down, and you'll close them one by one until your mind feels light again. And that's when everything changes. Not because you became a different person, but because you finally stopped fighting the person you already are. You learned how your brain works, and you started working with it. That's not laziness, that's intelligence. And if you want to keep learning how to stay mentally ahead, how to decode the patterns most people never see, how to build a mind that works for you instead of against you, then stay here, because this is just the beginning.